and then it now goes all the way back there. So all of this is new. This is all, and this is where all the emergency beds go.
All of the emergency beds.
There was no time wasted doing it, and it took almost 2 months.
Is this dietary?
No, this is renal.
Renal.
This is renal.
Renal. Oh,
What about the number of patients for dialysis?
30.
30.
Yeah.
What
At
was
that
the number
time.
before?
At a time.
At that time.
Oh, yeah, what was the number before that could be accommodated? Less? Was it
It would be less.
significantly
It
less?
would be less. There's a renal unit, a makeshift renal unit on the compound on the other side. So we have to, a lot of the services that we're explaining here, they will be expanded. We'll add some new ones, but the original services are all in and around the building, you know. So them are the containers in the makeshift buildings. So we're really just building out new facilities. But I should have mentioned that the A&E that Vivian walked through is going to be twice the size of the previous A&E.
Yeah, he said it.
He told you that.
Yes.
And the renal unit will be larger also.
And there's a point that Minister usually makes, and I think it's very, very valid, is that the hospital is not shut down. So renal is here. It's just not in this building now. He mentioned it about CSSD. CSSD is here. And in this building still right now is radiotherapy. So every day within the construction zone, and I mean the staff and the doctors in radiotherapy have been extremely accommodating, because I'm telling you, the noise and the disruption that they've had to put up with for the last 2 years is immeasurable. And they're delivering cancer treatment still every single day. You know, I mean, I think I've caused, I'm just saying this, I'm not proud of it, but the closure of radiotherapy for about 5 days during the time, because we just couldn't work. They just couldn't work through the conditions that were being created by the construction. And so, I mean, one closure came from a burning smell. They were welding in the plant room on the other side of the building, and the fumes were pulled into the space somehow. And they were very noxious. This is just welding, and they had to shut down. Another time we had a water intrusion from the construction that was happening above. And they've continued to work, you know, and it's very, very, very admirable, I think. And we've had to work with them as a project manager. I mean, you try and give as much notice as possible to disruption, for the disruption that's going to happen, and you want to control it. But sometimes it has just been unbearable, you know, and they just don't want to put but the staff have endured it, and the patients have endured it, and they've kept on doing the service during all of this.
All right, so this is the room. All right. Is Fiona on side? Fiona is on side?
So,
No, not you, Minister.
here, I will tell you, Minister, we can talk about just some of the flow. This area, this room, is where all of the packaging of the food will take place. So the production area is over here. The storage of the raw materials, etc., is beyond that opening and to the right, where you have refrigeration and dry goods stores and everything. And then it moves along this passageway into the production area, from the production area into the distribution area in here, out through this door, into a service lift, up to, in the case of Western Child Minister, second floor, across the bridge, and then up to the other floors for this building. So
You want to show them all the wastewater?
yeah. Just be careful as you move to this trench. But in various points in this floor, right, and what we've tried to do is take all of the wastewater away from dietary. So we moved it to the periphery. So we've come down in various areas outside the food preparation space. But all of these trenches that you're seeing here, there's one along that southern end, and all of this is all that has been created to take wastewater out of the building. So there are major manholes on the east and the west, which then go to, they travel northerly to a central sewer disposal system that connects to the central sewer from Montego Bay. So that is how we're actually integrating into that system. But the process of catching the levels, tying everything back, there's nothing that is part of the waste disposal system that is connected to what was original. We have decommissioned everything and put in a completely new wastewater disposal system, which is very, very important, I think, to the peace of mind of the end users. And you can see the depth of the trenching. It was deeper than this because the pipes are now in and they've started to backfill them. But in the area for dietary, and this is one of the areas that has to be finished, it would have been a lot more straightforward if we didn't have so many services on the tower above coming down into it and everything leading in this direction to the manholes. But unfortunately, this is also in one of the lowest points that we can connect.
And
so
it will also have where the fumes will be extracted.
Correct. All of the extraction, all of the fire suppression, especially needed for dietary. Because as you can imagine, fire control in here is going to be paramount importance. There's a lot that has happened through there, but it's storage. It's storage. Yeah. Yeah.
Child and adolescent. So this is the contractor, the manager, project manager, and this is Fiona, who is the interpreter, and she's probably a project manager too, but she's the interpreter. So she speaks English if you need to ask any questions. We're not going to go in the building, but you're going to see some of the similar things you're seeing here, only that this is a new building. So maybe on the ground floor, and then we just walk around, and if anybody has any questions, yeah? You want to walk this way or that way?
All right, guys, so I'm wrapping up. As the minister said, we won't be going on all floors, but we're doing a quick walkthrough. I know it's quite lengthy vlog, but it's a lot to show. And again, if you've made it this far, thank you so very much. And when you're finished with this vlog, I want you guys to check out some of my other vlogs, different things to do.
All right, guys, so if you notice the difference between a new building and a brownfield site, high ceilings, right? This will be a very airy, open space. This is an elevator shaft, and oh, that's the elevator. That's the Otis. Yeah, and so you're gonna see a more modern feature here. This is diagnostic equipment, MRI, and that sort of thing. MRI, X-rays, all of that. Yeah, we don't need to go down. And they've seen it before, and I think they're getting tired now. It's a catchment tank.
This is water
Water storage. It's quite big, you can't see it from because it's go all the way down. So
Massive.
So we're solving the water problem. Farm of sorts. Yeah. So it allows for some shared space, and I believe so for nurses, I think there may be some single space too. Yeah. Single and shared.
Is it just nurses' quarters, or is it?
Well, it's whatever we want it to be, I guess.
It has to be doctors to put on call.
It will house everybody. Oh, you know. All right. So this is where perhaps, and I say perhaps at some points in our lives, when we should have expired, we will all end up. This is the morgue. Hopefully not too soon. Walk here.
Well, this pretty much concludes that they believe they will reopen after the first quarter of 2026, right? And my question was answered in terms of why it's taking so long. I mean, I also have to remember that there was a pandemic which drastically slowed down everything. It slowed down the repairs of Cornwall Regional as well as starting Western Children Adolescent Hospital. Because I remember the year when they were supposed to start the hospital was in 2020, and that's when the pandemic happened. So, there's a lot of hiccups along the way. But what matters is that there's progress being made, and we cannot deny that. You guys have seen it. You've heard some of what they had to go through and endure in terms of just like rubbing down the steel and how long that took and whatever. But at the end of the day, we want to ensure that everything is done properly. So when it reopens, we have the best of the best. And you already know the best is in the West. So with that being said, I bid you guys farewell, and I see you guys at the next. Have some pictures that we took while we were there, and I'm going to show those. And again, guys, like, share, comment, subscribe.